There, perfect. I am recording now. Excellent. So, today's session, I've 4 points to cover for managing your position. So the first one is the types of trades that we can put in, the types of positions that we can initiate. The second one is what we do with our position. So how do we manage our margin? How do we manage DCAing in, so putting more money into the position? And then how do we manage taking money out of the position? So DCAing in and DCAing out. The third point is the stop loss. How do we use the stop loss more efficiently? And the fourth one is the take profit. So basically, we're gonna cover what you need to do to optimize your position while you are holding it. So for that, I'm gonna do a mini live trade with you, because I need a live trade to show you. So I'll go in. This is ETH. I do now. If you go into trade, there are different types of trades that you can do. You can do the, oh, no, I didn't want to do that. Go back. Okay. So, what platforms do you guys use? Because I use Bybit by default, but I want to see if we're on the same page. Do you use Femex? Okay, super. I think they all look quite similar. I think they all look quite similar. So you have different types of trades. So it depends on what you use to buy your contracts, because on the platform you're not actually trading coin, you're trading your contracts. So the USDT, you're using USDT to buy coin. The same for USDC, you're using USDC to buy coin. I don't do futures. I do inverse perpetual, where I'm using coin to buy dollars, and in that trade I make more coin. So for USDT and USDC, when you use them to buy coin, you will be making more USDT, which is a stable coin, and more USDC. I do the opposite thing. I use my XRP to buy dollars. So you will see me buying dollars, and in that trade I will be making more XRP, not more dollars. And I do that, and all my trades are inverse perpetual. I trade ETH and I trade XRP. On this account, I trade XRP. So so let me change to XRP. So I want to make more XRP and I want to make more ETH. That's why I'm trading inverse perpetual. And I could exchange from my Bybit account. I swap over my coin. I transfer my coin back into Binance, and from Binance I change it into euros or dollars. I sell it, and then I transfer it into my bank account. So in case you're wondering, how do I transfer the coin into, how do I turn the coin into money? That's how I do it, and that's how it's done. It depends on like a lot of people wanna trade. A lot of people wanna trade dollars. So you're using coin to buy dollars. I would advise you to do the inverse perpetual right now, because coins are at a low price, and then we're expecting another drop. So at the moment the market is expecting another drop. There's always a shakeout before the takeoff. It's always happened. So the money that you'll be making, the coin, that you'll be making at a lower price will be more valuable in the future. And I know it's very tempting. When I started trading, I wasn't doing the inverse perpetual because, you know, it was very tempting for me to make dollars. Like I wanted to make dollars, give me the money. But then I realized the coins appreciate in value a lot more than the dollars that I make. So it's worth making the coin. And as an investor, because I hodl XRP and ETH. I can always afford to sell them higher than, because I watch them and I don't need them straight away. So my hodl is not my how can I say, I can always afford to wait for the right moment and to sell them at a higher price than I bought them. So I always sell them at a profit. And because I sell them at a profit, it's more valuable to do the trades in inverse perpetual. So that's how I do it. And a lot of traders have different systems, different ways. I'm teaching you what I know best, so to say. So I will answer your questions about, you know, different types of trades, but that's sort of like what I do every day. And I do apologize if there are any questions that I won't be able, if they're too technical. Now, for inverse perpetual, I'll go over to XRP. Again, I started trade, my life as a trader started trading. I was trading Matic and I was trading Link, and then I was trading ETH for a little while, and then I switched to XRP. So back in September, I switched to XRP. So from September, I've been trading XRP exclusively until I think 2 months ago when I started trading ETH, because I think it's good to have a nice ETH hodl as well. So I know better the XRP ranges than I do the ETH ranges. So I'll show you the DCAing on XRP because it's easier for me to transfer it into percentages, and also because it's smaller numbers. But I'll if you want to talk percentages, for instance, when you're setting up your trades, I'll be very happy to help you in the chat. So if you tell me, listen, I want to set up 3 DCAs up from this level in ETH, I look at the chart, I'll ask you what's the time frame, and I'll look at the 1 hour arc, and I'll tell you what I do, you know, what the stages would be, because this is what I do with XRP. So let's say now I'm looking at XRP, and I'm looking at this arc here. If you see my Bybit actually has a bit of TA as well. I always keep my my Bollinger on Bybit. I always keep the smooth moving average, the 5 SMA, and the 144 weighted moving average on my Bybit. And that's because on my phone, I like to monitor on Bybit, because I can, you know, close and DCA in and out on the phone very easily. And I like to have these as reference. So let's say now on the 1 hour, I see it hit the Bollinger up. It's probably made a mountain peak here in this arc, and I want to go in. I want to go into a trade. So I have 3 options. I have the limit order, I have the market order, or I have the conditional. And I'm gonna do a little pop quiz on this. If I want to enter right now, let's say right now I want to start. I want to put in a position. Which is the instant type of order that I should use?
Market.
The market one, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
That's the one. Now, the problem with the market is, and I want you to be really careful. You see here we have 2 prices. The first one is the last price, and all platforms have these. The first one is the last price, and the second one is the mark price. So when I type in market, it will place me at the second price, not at the first price. So it will automatically place me maybe a little bit higher or a little bit lower. It depends. Now, because I'm doing inverse perpetual, you see I'm buying dollars. So I'm using XRP to buy dollars. Let's say I'm going in $1,000. I want to buy $1,000 at 10x. I always use isolated. Neil was asking me if I use cross. Never cross margin. Never. Like I don't want to have all my trading kitty, because I always have my hodl is in Binance, and then I have trading kitties in my account. I never use the trading kitty in one account. Sorry, I never use the cross type, because that would expose all of my account to that. So in order to buy $1,000 at 10x, I would put in $100. So let's say here I want to sell short. I'll get this screen, which means I will be putting in 132 XRP. That's the order value in XRP. That's the liquidation price. That's the isolated, and confirm. Always, please, always have this box. I know you can choose not to have this. Always have it. Don't ever say, oh no, avoid confirmation. Always have the confirmation, because there are times when we click buy instead of sell, sell instead of buy. There are times when we're tired, we've been watching this all day, so it's always good to have your confirmation. So my position went in. Once I have an active position, I can see it. It's a sell one. We see the red. Obviously, we have the liquidation here. For XRP, there's generally about 8 points. If I go 10x, that means the price has to go 10% up or down in value. 10% up in this case, because I'm selling. For my position to be liquidated. So I went in at 76.65. 10% of this would be 84. 10% of the difference between 84.23, which is the liquidation price, and this would be 10%. And with the 10x, which is my leverage, and I do 10x across the board, no matter the trade, I do 10x, so I keep the same risk. So that once the position is active, I have some bits that I can edit, some parts of it, some elements of it that I can adjust, and one of them is the position margin here. So the position margin here, in this position, I have 131 XRP, and my liquidation is 84.23. Let's see, I see XRP starting to pump like crazy. And 84 would be the previous top, 84.61. Let's say a lot of people don't realize that their position is actually more flexible, but you have to put more money in the margin. So once you go in, let's say with $100, you can put more money in, and that will put your liquidation price up. So I can, let's say, put in 150, and from 84.23 I moved up 1 point, 85.57. And that's just by adding 15 XRP. Usually, and I'll tell you about the margin. I'll tell you about what I do. Usually, I do a ridiculous margin to start amount. So I would put in maybe 3 times the amount of money that I have, and I would have in this account I have $300. So let's say I put the whole money in, 300. So if I put all my 300 XRP in, I would have 98 liquidation price, and that's 98 would be 20 points from where we are now. So I always make sure in my account I have so the start amount, if it is $100, I have 3 DCAs up, so $300 up, $300 down, and then $300 for the margin to have the 20 points up, let's say. Now I'm gonna take this money out because I want to oh, how much was it? 150, because I want to use them for DC. I want to use it for DCA. So once I have my margin covering my liquidation, I will let the trade. I'll let the trade run. Normally, if you're doing 1 hour trades, I would advise you to do something called conditional orders. So don't go in on the market, don't go in here and now, and don't get used to going in here and now. At the start, it's better to use conditionals or limit orders, depending on where you are, and I'll explain the difference. Because you are letting the market come to you. You are planning your trade. If you get used to going in and out of the trade at the start when you're, let's say, finding your feet, and there are loads of emotions that you'll experience when you're trading, you'll be more reactive. So when I started trading, I told myself, don't go in on market. So for, I think it was about six months into my trading that I actually started going in, because I was watching it so much, and I knew I got used to the pattern. But the first 6 months, I would only plan and I would pattern trade, and I didn't have the arc, so that means I would get caught at times because there was something unexpected happening. I didn't have the bigger time frame to watch, but I would advise you to plan for your trades, which means setting conditional orders. And conditional orders are great because they get you to think of 2 things. 1, what is the confirmation for this trade? And second, what is the price that I would like to go in at? Because conditionals have a trigger price, and then they have an order price, and then they have the quantity. You saw in the market, I only have the quantity. I put into 2,000, go in, and that's it. But for conditionals, I have to think, when is this? If I had planned this as a conditional, I would have put, for instance, the 144.7705, 0.7705 as trigger price. So at that price, my order becomes active. Then I would put in the order price. So let's say if I get triggered at 0075 and I'm selling short, you might want to. What I do is I put a slightly different price. So I would say buy in at 0007. I'm terrible with numbers. 07703. Just to have that little bit of a cent thing, just to make sure the what you call the system triggers. But you can put the same price. You can put the same trigger price as the same price as the limit. Then you can sell short with TP or stop loss, but we'll discuss these later. And then you have to click post only. So let's say here Very good. You know what? I'm actually going to set this as conditional because it will also serve as DCA. So if I click sell short, confirm, again, see, do not show confirmation window anymore. Don't ever click that. That's my advice to you. Don't ever click that because you want this window to show you what you're doing. So confirm. And here you will see this is my position that's active. And here in the conditional, you can see the order that's waiting. And here you see the price distance. So we're here at 76.59. At 77, if the price goes up here, I'm going to sell some more. And this would be a great way to plan your DCAs. But I'll show another way of doing them. Let's say a simpler way, but this is quite simple as well. So that would be the order that I would advise to practice, any beginner to practice. Use conditionals. I know they might seem a little bit less user-friendly, but it's not really that hard. Just to look at the trigger, set the limit, set the quantity. And in this way, you are patiently waiting for your confirmation of the trade rather than emotionally or reactively going in. I'm not saying that you're always, you're emotionally or, how can I say, unconsciously acting on the market price, but we might do that. Like, we're human, and this is about human psychology. And this is how retail generally trades, especially at the beginning. I know if I hadn't told myself at the beginning, don't do that, I would have done that. Even after I finished my so-called probation period, after my 6 months trial, I would react. So it's taken me a lot of trades to stop reacting to market price and actually see it for what it is, an incentive for retail to put liquidity in the game. So I'll cancel this one because I want to actually save the position for DCAing. You can also set a limit order, but the problem with the limit orders is when the price is close to, let's say I have the same price, I want to buy at 0.7703. You will, if I say confirm, okay, so sometimes, now in this case I got a nice little message because there's a little bit of a price difference between them. But let's say I want to buy at 0.7662. Let's say it's really close, or 70. Sell. Very good. Okay, so I'm trying to show you an error window that appears when the price of the limit order is close to the last price over here. When those prices are similar, you will get a message saying that the order might be executed as a market order. So if you click yes, it will go in most probably as a market order. So remember to check that. If you are willing to go in as a market order, then go ahead and do it. If you're not, then set a conditional. But remember, if you set conditionals, to click the post only. If you don't click the post only, it might go in straight away. I don't know the technicalities behind this, but I know the practical side of it. So the platform will always entice you, or will always make it, it's a bit like a casino, like it will always make it more profitable for them. So the higher fees are for market orders. So both limit and conditionals could be executed as market orders if we're not paying attention. So for the conditionals, which would be the ones that would be great to use at the beginning because you're a bit more mindful, click post only. For the limit, you need to have a little bit of a difference between the price and the last price it's at. Okay, am I going too fast? Can you guys follow? Any questions at the moment? Okay, okay. You would be asking me questions. My volume is turned on, right? Yes. Okay. Okay. Do let me know if you have any questions at this stage. Okay. So that's the first point that I wanted to cover with you. The three types of orders, the three types of orders that will initiate a position. Then we go into editing the position. The first thing that we can edit is the margin, and I showed you. You click on the little pencil here, and you can put more money in your margin by clicking plus, also by typing. You can click minus to remove. So when you see, for instance, if I see that the price is going up, if I look at the price, you can always move these tiny boxes, by the way. If I see that the price is going up and my initial liquidation was 135. So my initial liquidation is 84.49, and it doesn't cover the previous peak of 84.72. I want to put more money in to cover that. Okay. And let's say this short starts coming down and I am perfectly safe. I want to take the money out. Let's say I want to take out the extra money, the 15 or 20 dollars that I put in, and I want to, let's say, sell more if I see it, for instance, breaking the Bollinger on the 1 hour or breaking the previous low on the 1 hour. So if I see that it does that, I will want to withdraw my liquidity from my margin and put it into my position, in which case I will sell more. So the margin, why do we want to change the margin? Because it can give us more space until liquidation. Again, the amount of money that you put in a trade needs to be, I do a 10x. So if I if I started this trade with $100, I will have a 10x amount that I'm using around this trade, because I want this position and my capital to be safe whatever happens. So I will have 3 DCAs up of $100 and 3 DCAs down of $100. So that's $600. Then I would have, for the margin, 3 times that money. So I would have an extra $900 available to support a $100 trade. That's the ratio that I use for my trading. Together, this $1,000 is less than 5% of my hodl. Less than 5% of my hodl. Never trade with more than 5% of your hodl. Some people say 10%. I say 10% is too much. And let that 5% be this whole amount. So it's not just the money that you put in. Let's say your hodl is 5,000 euros. 5% of 5,000 euros is the 5% of 5. It's 100 euros, right? 5% or 500. Oh, it's so hard to think. How I'm taking out the calculator, guys.
250.
250. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, because you multiplied. Thank you, Farouk. That was you, wasn't it?
No problem. Yeah.
Okay, super. So 250. So if 250 is 5% of your 5,000 euro hodl, that means that in each trade, I would suggest you put 25 euros or $25. because you need to back up that 20. If you're doing a 1 hour trade or a 4 hour trade, you need to back up that $25 up and down 3 times, plus have 3 times to put in your margin. If you don't have that backup, you will find yourself in a position that might be liquidated faster. I do now. There might be trading strategies and traders that will say, okay, you got liquidated, that's it, you're done, you'll start another position, you move on, life goes on. I always protect my capital. In XRP, when trading XRP, I learned that the hard way, but also this strategy helped me survive 20% pumps. I survived recently. I survived a 20% pump, and I only took at the end of it 20% loss. So I could have been liquidated. I could have lost 100% of my position, but I only took a 20% loss at the end of it on the retracement. And I only took that loss because I was mentally tired of following it down. And I said, no, I'm gonna take this loss and start a new position. But I'm teaching you how to protect your capital, because that's my strategy. I teach you from what works for me. And if you do that long-term trading, which is more peaceful, and it is more, how can I say, it's a more analytical, calmer way, a more planned, strategic way to trade. If you choose to do those long-term trades, you need to bulletproof your position, which means have liquidity on both sides, because this is exactly what the market makers do. When we see, for instance, if you look at Traders Reality, the indicator that I love using, they are putting liquidity into the market to stimulate the market up, but they will wait for the market to go where they want it to go and catch it on the other way down. So you can do the same. You can follow the market up and down. I put in a short now in XRP, and I will show you how I DCA up 3 levels, how I DCA down 3 levels. So I go with the market and I stay adaptable. And how in my liquidation, I will be fully covered. Well, as covered as I can be, but it's worked very well for me. There never is a foolproof strategy, not like there's a 1% or a 5% chance of failure with everything. But if you do this, it's a high probability protection for your capital. And it's very mathematical in terms of steps and stages. So when you see the mathematical as in logical, when you see the logic of it, you'll realize how flexible it is and how adjustable it is. So I would advise you constantly to look at how you can adjust your margin or how not to adjust your margin. So I told you to be fully backed up for a position 10 times almost, but also sometimes, for instance, these days when I am trading, I am no longer adjusting my margin because we are waiting for a breakout, a break up or a breakdown. At the moment, I'm in 2 shorts, one for with this one 3, one for XRP and one for ETH, but I haven't put more money into the margin because and what I'm doing for both of them is I'm going in on these peaks, following it down, because I think on both arcs we need a correction. We need a correction to the downside before we go up. So I am catching these peaks and following them down. And so I have a 78 position for XRP, and I think for ETH it's about it's the previous swing high, the previous peak. But I'm just putting money in for position, and I'm not adding to my margin. So in times of uncertainty, don't add to your margin. Know when to add to the margin. If I am, for instance, in my 4-hour arc, there is the 4-hour arc, and I'll show you how I traded this one. I loved this trade so much, so much. I thought this here on the 4-hour was the mountain peak of this arc, so at 91, and I went in at 91, and it started coming down, happy days, but then it went up to 102, so 10 points, 90, that's 10 points. I would have been liquidated here if I hadn't adjusted my margin. So here, not only did I adjust my margin, but I also DCA'd on the way up as I was following it up. When I realized that this hadn't actually been mountain peak, that this had only been double top here and here, and then I realized when this happened that this was the real mountain peak, and then we came down for the third drop. So if I am at the start of the arc, after I've seen double top and I'm going for mountain peak, if I make a mistake and say, oh, this was, and this happens when, again, when you see a new arc, this might happen. You see a higher peak in the double top formation and you say, oh, that's the mountain peak. And we've had double top earlier. Let's say you make that mistake, but you're at the start of the arc. You know there will be a mountain peak. Adjust, and after the mountain peak, there will be a correction. Adjust your position to cover, adjust your margin to cover that liquidation, because the market will correct. The market goes in swings up and swings down, swings up and swings down. So that position will give you money. It will correct as long as you cover your liquidation. So if you're at the start of the arc, going for mountain peak, cover your liquidation with your margin. Going for third drop, cover your liquidation with the margin. Going for final peak, again, on the 4-hour arc, beautiful trade. It's about 20 or 30%. Do that. But at the end of the arc, please don't do that. Trade for confirmation at the end of the arc. Now, I was talking to Roy last night, and we both agreed we will do two things now. We won't only refuse to put money in the margin to change our liquidation, but we'll also, once I see XRP moving down from 78, I will move my stop loss to my entry point. So in times of uncertainty, don't adjust the liquidation. Even if you have the liquidity, don't adjust it. Let it play out. You have the stop loss and you have the take profit to work with. Don't push that limit. Of course, like if you're putting in $10 because you want to see a trade play out, it's called pay to play. If you wanna give yourselves, because I remember I used to do that. I would trade $10, and I care about my money so much. Like you, like I'm like a little squirrel with my money. Like I pay attention to each and every cent coming in, each and every dollar coming in. So I put money in the game just to be disciplined enough to see what happens to it. And that's why we're saying start with small amounts, because you'll actually notice you care even about those small amounts, and you will see them growing. This account is my first XRP account, and it has 300 XRP, and I started with 10. So I keep it for sentimental value. It's great to see accounts grow. It's great to see wallets grow. And it's great to see that you've been playing safe enough and confirmed your consistency and confirmed your strategy. Because every strategy needs a large amount of trades to prove itself. Don't do it, 5 times and say, oh, I failed 3 times, so the strategy doesn't work. No, you need to give it time through all the stages of the market. Even now, like right now, a lot of traders are stepping back and not trading. Myself and Roy, we're actually trading it because we want to see the arc in this transition. How is this doing in this transition? And we're putting money to see how it's doing, and we care about our money and we want to see it grow. So we're watching to see what's happening, and we're saying, how can I protect this, or how can I minimize my risk? Because these are the two big questions. How can I protect this money that I put in, and how can I minimize my risk? And now the safest way to play is don't adjust your margin. Pick the best position. Pick, if you think it's going to go up, pick one of the bottoms and follow it up. If you think it's going to go down, pick one of the tops and follow it down and see where it meets resistance. So there are times when you shouldn't adjust your margin. But in the bigger swings, on the 1 hour arc and the 4 hour arc, adjusting your margin gives you great space to see it play out, rather than be terrified about being liquidated. It just puts you, I remember when I did that, when XRP pumped, is this on the 4 hour? Yes, XRP pumped here to 102, and I had my margin covering up to 110 or 113, and I was so calm, and I could plan the stages for my DCA up, and I was really happy to put in extra money because I knew it was going to correct. All waves correct sooner or later. Okay, so that's the margin adjustment. And remember, you can always take the money out of the margin at no loss. That's the difference between putting money in the position and putting money in the margin. So if I decide right now to sell more, it won't necessarily, I think it can change my liquidation slightly, but not significantly. Like it will be in an, it depends where the last price is. But if you really want to get considerable amount of points in your liquidation, you need to adjust your margin. And then you can, once you're in the safe area, you're out of the woods when it comes to the direction. The direction is confirmed. So once, for instance, it breaks the 144 here on the 4 hour, I will remove the money from the margin and start DCAing on the way down. So that's why we should adjust the margin. The next point that I wanted to tell you is the DCAing in. So how do I DCA in? We're doing XRP. So for XRP, I like to have at least 6 points of difference between where I entered a trade and where I'm going to put more money in, because I need that money when you DCA in, when I sell more or buy more, depending on the direction, that will help with my position. So for example, if I'm here, let me change back to the 15 minutes. If I am here, I entered at 7665. So I entered here. Let's say the next one would be 82, 6 points. And I choose 6 points because it's like 75%. Because between here 76 and 82, if I put in another 1,000 at 82, I'll show you what will happen. Let's say, and you can DCA in by setting limit orders. So I remember when I was listening to, I don't know who it was, what's his name? That Martini guy. He was a YouTuber. I think he still is a YouTuber I used to listen to. He's actually quite good. He's not bad. And he was talking about DCAing in and DCAing out. And I was like, what's he talking about? Where is the DCA button on my Bybit? And then I realized, wait a second, I'm actually going the same direction. So I'm selling more and I'm buying more. Wasn't really that hard to deduct, but when you start out, this interface can seem very intimidating. So let's say at 82, 6 points, 82.6. At 82.6, I decide to put 1,000 in. So I will sell more. It will show me here where is it? It will show me here the price, but it will also show me the new liquidation. So if I put more money in by means of DCA, I can also get a couple of points. However, the maximum value of the DCA is in the first DCA that you make with the same amount that you've put in. So basically now I'm putting in an extra 100% to my position. This is where, for instance, between 76 and 82, 6 points, I will gain 3 points. When this DCA comes in at 82, my entry point will move up to 79 here. So do you guys see how much I would actually improve my position? It is huge. It is huge, and you can do that for any coin, any range, any sort of strategy. Like even when you're let's say shorter term, you're trading on the 15 minutes and you have a couple of hours to trade, you can still set this. You can set it as a smaller range, but remember, the first DCA is the most powerful one. It will give you the most impact, the best impact for your position. So if I set my DCA 6 points, about 75% of the value of the coin, 6 points away from my entry point, I will gain half of that because I'm putting in another 100% to my position. But to protect myself, so this is what I do for the first one. Now, do you remember that the liquidation was 87? So it wasn't 84, it was 87. I write down in my notebook, in my very geeky notebook, I write down 87. When that little box shows itself, I write down 87. Why? Because the next two DCAs will be in and around that, not the next two, the next one. So the next DCA will be around that number to cover my liquidation. So, and it happened only once, but it was so memorable. It was so memorable. I always do a DCA around my liquidation because it serves in a way as a like a margin adjustment. But I'm not adjusting my margin, I'm adjusting my position. So I'm gaining points to my entry, and also I'm saving my position. I'll be protecting it. So if my liquidation was 87 something, I will put a DCA in before my liquidation. Because I put too much money in. Let me remove this one. Active. You can always change the amount. Let's say I put 100 in. Perfect. So here at 87, let's say I want to put another 1,000. I'll put 100 in, but you guys think it's a 1,000 because that's how I go 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. So sell again, and in this way I will have my my margin, my liquidation protected. Now you will see here that it says liquidation 85.39 because now the previous order, the previous DCA that I set here for 82 is not active yet. So you can, I like to set for longer time trades. I like to set all of my DCAs and I reset them every day as the market happens, but I always have them set up previously. So 87 to add to my liquidation, and that will add about 2 or 3 points, let's say. Okay, confirm. And then the next one, depending on so 82, 87, and then the next one, I would get 2-3 points for the liquidation, again around 6 points, 93. So I would have them all lined up like this. So I would have them all lined up like this. And if the price goes against the direction that I think it will, like if the price starts going up, what I will get is extra points for my position, and it will retrace. So in 18 points up, plus, let's say I have my margin here at 86. I can actually put it up to, let's say, 300. Confirm. Because I put the money in the margin, 250 in the DCAs here. Okay, super. So I've my liquidation at 93, and I have 93.51, but the final order will be hit at 93. So this order will give me, what's the volume doing here? This order will give me a couple of points as well. So when that order activates, I'll have about a liquidation at about 95. So I entered at 76, and I would have about 20 points up. 20 points up from 76, that's more than a 20% pump. If I'm correct about my 25 would be 33. 20 would be, let's say, a 25%. So my position is safe for a 20% pump, which is awesome. I think it's if you're, don't trade with the money that you want to lose. Trade with the money that you want to grow. If you want to grow that money, if you want to grow that kitty, protect it. That's the first step. Don't put it at high risk. And this DCAing counter to your direction of trade is the safest way to keep it protected, because you're gaining position. You might be trapped. I have 11 accounts. So at the moment, I don't have any trapped trades because of the nature of where we are, but I might actually have trades trapped for a week until it reverses and it gets to the level that I want it to. But again, I've seen this so many times. There's nothing wrong with having that money in that trade, because it will reverse. Again, that's how the market operates. That's how the market makers do it. Step by step, putting more money in. And then, of course, you can start. So that's the first thing that I do. I make sure my 3 levels up are safe. And then I make sure 3 levels down are safe too. So let's see here, what are the levels of resistance? Now here, on the way down, I might not go 6 points, because it depends on where my target is. So if my target for this trade, my target is 59 for this short in XRP, and I know I'm being dramatic, but that's what my TA tells me at the moment. But I will be looking at, let's say, if it breaks the 74, if it breaks the 74, I will be going in and selling some more. So I will be setting again some limit orders at 74. I will be selling 100. Perfect. Can you guys see this error? This risk alert message. Perfect. I finally got it. Excellent. So I'm trying to set this limit order to sell more at 74, but it's really close. The current order may encounter the following circumstances. The current order may be executed immediately as a market order, and the take profit stop loss condition you placed may be invalid. The second one is not true because I haven't placed any stop loss or take profit condition. What they're saying is, if I try to put this limit in to sell, they're gonna the system will add it in immediately, which is not what I want to do. So I cancel and I set a conditional. So when it sets, when the price hits 74, order price 74, I will sell 100. See it as 1,000. Then my next level would be the 70. Yes, the great 70. This has been, if I see ETH at 2,523 and XRP at 71 something, I'm like, oh, I have seen these numbers so much lately. Watched all this sideways. Now, if it breaks the 70, I'm going to buy in at 70. Buy in as in sell some more. Confirm. Excellent. And then I have, wait a second, I have a 93. That's the one. I'll cancel this 93 one. Positions, very good, because that was just for me to show you how to do it. And then let's say the next level for it to break, I can't see it here on the 15-minute, but I can see it on here is the 60, I think it's the 62, 60, why? Yes, it's right over here. Yeah, that's it, 64. Okay, I'll put it in at 65. So at 65, I'm going in at 65, 65, and sell short. So confirm, perfect. So here is how I have them all set up. Here is how I have them all set up. So that's how I would have 3 levels up, 3 levels down. Now, I am very disciplined about these levels, and I don't change them. Now it's not never. It's not never. Like, for instance, in these conditions where the market is right now, I will watch to see how it breaks the 74, how it breaks the 70, how it breaks the 65, and I might change them, as in cancel them, or go in earlier. If I see that it's breaking the 74 really quickly, I might be putting in the 07 and the 74 money at the same time. So I might be putting in a little bit more. But that's something that you can do with experience. At the beginning, again, it's good to practice a little bit of discipline, both for patience, like, you know, developing your patience stamina, but also for consistency. Because if you are inconsistent with the amount of money that you put in, then the profits that you'll be making might not cover for the losses. So again, I learned that the hard way, because I was making profits. I was making it in the bull run. I told you, you can have swings that make you 250% a day. I remember there was a week where I made 300% in 3 days. I really worked very hard. Like, I worked almost 24/7 for that 300%, but I lost it all in a drop that I hadn't planned for with DCAs, because I wasn't DCAing. I wasn't setting up my trades, and I realized this is what This is what a professional trader would do. A professional trader would be prepared for a move. So now when I go in a trade, in the first 2 or 3 minutes, this is what I have on my screen because I need these to kick in order to protect my capital. The market can move up very fast. You can go, have a shower, and this is what happens. So you want to be prepared. The market also moves within ranges, so you don't need to plan for, let's say, from 76 to the moon to 120, but I would plan from 76 to where is 93? Yes, to 90. Well, 91.6 is the previous high because this is the arc that we're moving in. This is that we're moving, that we're working in. I would give it a couple of points because they sometimes like to have maybe the final peak higher than skyline, just just to spice things up. So if you do the longer trades, do it in stages, and never put, some of them might never be hit, and others you might cancel. I remember I had to cancel some of the DCAs when I was doing a long, and the war broke out, and there was news of the Russian invasion. I was like, I can't put more money in this trade because I'm longing while uh, at that moment being a trader more than a fundamentalist, watching the fundamentals like the news and stuff like that. I didn't nor I found out later that war news actually pumps crypto for some reason. But again, they might change that pattern because market makers will use the news just to stimulate retail. So I wouldn't trust the news. I would trust the pattern. And I would plan for everything to happen and to allow it to happen. So don't DCA to the moon, but do DCA a couple of levels up and a couple of levels down, because that will maximize your profit. The levels up improve your position. The levels down improve your profit. You are losing points on the levels down. So if I DCA from 76 to if I put more money in at 73 at 74, from 76 to 74, I will lose about a point. So my entry point will be 75, but I will have more money in the game. So my profit will be higher when we come down. So I wanna have a higher profit. I want to maximize my profit. Not only do I want to protect my risk by the DCAing in on the way up, I also want to maximize my profit. So again, I'll be very careful with how I DCA on the way down, because it makes me lose points, but it also helps me increase my position. So that's the DCAing in. So you can DCA in, when we talk about DCAing in, putting more money in, you can DCA in on the way up and on the way down. And now I'm really like, I can go to bed. I can go to bed on, with this trade, and I have my level set. I have my level set. I have my liquidation. I have my liquidation clear. Of course, if something happens, I will lose all the money in the liquidation. I will lose all the 250 XRP plus the levels that went in here. So I would be losing everything. It's never happened to me to lose everything. Never. Never. And again, never say never. But if I do lose everything, I know that is a lot less than the 5% that I have. And it is the money that I use for each and every trade. So the trades that I made over the past 5 days, I think I made about 10, no, I made 10 times the amount over the past 2 months. 5 times the amount. So let's say you don't make 5 times the amount, you make 2 times the amount. You make twice the amount that you put in and you lose it once. You're still at a profit. But again, I wouldn't see why that happens. The market always reverses. And if you set your levels up carefully, and if you set your liquidation up carefully, and if you back up your position with a 300% margin, you should be fine. You should be, well, actually more than fine. You should be very nicely protected. It is the crypto world, so anything can happen. You know, it's your money. Play with it carefully and safely and cautiously, especially now. It's, again, do paper trades at the moment. It's the perfect start for any trader. It will teach you a lot of lessons. Paper trading has its lessons as well. So put the money in, put your trades down, put the DCAs in on the way up and on the way down on paper as well, and calculate how much you would be making. And now, even if I see, for instance, I say, oh, look, my trade is in the red. So what? It's 2% in the red. I'm covered on the way up. I'm covered on the way down. It's great. It's, you know, I'll let it run, and I'll be patient. Now, the third point that I wanted to cover with you guys was the stop loss. Again, I'm teaching from experience, and I'm teaching what works for me. And you can see from my strategy, by adjusting the margin and adjusting the DCAs up, that I make sure my position is covered by the liquidity that I have in the trade, which means I start small. So again, if I want to put 1,000 in, I will start with 100. If I want to put $10 in, I would start with $1. If I want to put 100 in, I would start with $10, because the amount of money that I put in one trade needs to be covered 10 times by the DCAs and by the margin. So I don't use a stop loss. I don't use a stop loss. I don't use a trailing stop loss. I've never used a trailing stop loss. So if you have any questions about the trailing stop loss, I will direct you towards Roy, that is that has used it. But I don't use a stop loss usually. Now I'll tell you that these days, for instance, when I go to bed tonight, if this trade at the moment in my 78 entry point for XRP, I don't have a stop loss. However, if we've already moved lower, yes, but I do want to give it some more space. Where is the 15? Did we break the 144? That's a little bit of my thought process. So I will put my stop loss at the entry point once we break the 144 on the 15 minute. So we break the 144 on the 15 minute, I'll put the stop loss in. Are we making here an M? Is this an M formation? I think this is an M formation. I'll put the stop loss in. You can move the stop loss. The stop loss, again, is very, very adaptable. You can use it in 3 ways. The first one is, which is, again, it's how I got burned so many times as a beginner trader. Put a stop loss of, let's say, 25%. So if I put in the stop, sorry, that's the take profit. Erase. A stop loss of 25%. Confirm. If I have a stop loss in at 25%, that means if the price reaches 78.61, this trade will, this position will be closed, which means I will have lost 25% of my money. If the stop, I will have lost 32 XRP. So that's the general use of the stop loss. Why don't I use this? Because I have seen so many times price ranges moving 25% up, 50% up, and 25% means the market at 10x, it means the market only moves 2.5%. So the market moves 2.5%, I get stop lossed. So I take that loss. It's a loss. It's defeating. It's defeating and it's defeatist. So I take that loss just to see the market, moving my direction. So it moves a little bit up high, but then it comes down and reverses. I have seen that so many times. At the beginning, it used to drive me mad. It was terrible because I would make, let's say, 50% from one trade, 50% from the other one, and then I would have two stop losses that would wipe out a whole trade. And yes, you will tell me, but you're still in profit. You are still in profit. That's right. But it's I guess it depends on the character. If you take losses very easily and you're all chill about them, happy days, put the stop loss in. However, remember that at the end of the day, you need to make more to cover for those stop losses. So if your stop loss is 25%, generally your risk to reward ratio should be about 2 to 1. So 2 to 1 or 1 to 2. So if you're risking 25%, that means that trade has a high probability target of 50%. So for instance, in these swings here, the range was about 3%. So in these swings here, at 3%, you have to set a smaller stop loss. So at 2 to 1 risk reward ratio, if the swing that you're trading is only 3%, that means your stop loss is 1.5. If you're doing 10x, it's 15%. A 15% stop loss, that can happen very easily. The market can decide to do a blow off top, which is why they do it. Like the blow off tops, you might hear us say, for instance, this one here, this was for sure a stop loss hunt. You'll see us talk about stop loss hunt. Oh, this was a stop loss hunt. They happen because there's liquidity in the stop losses. The market makers can see absolutely everything. They see where the stop losses are. They see where the liquidations are. They see absolutely everything. So they will move the market if there are a lot of stop losses at 15%, 25%, whatever the level. So keep in mind that if you use the stop loss to protect the money, which can work, you need at least 2 to 1 risk reward ratio. So for the stop loss that you're setting, if you are allowing, let's say, the market to move 50%, because that's how I used to set my stop losses in the bull run. The market was moving about 10% every day. So I was putting my stop losses at 50%, and I was allowing the market to run. And I got caught only once, I remember, and it did take 50% of my trade, and then reversed. So but initially I was using tight stop losses. I was using 15% and going in on different patterns and different formations like head and shoulders or channels, and I was losing a lot. And not because I wasn't right about the patterns, but because the market was moving very erratically, and XRP moves very erratically at times in ranges, not in patterns. So be careful. Put the stop loss, and if you do work with the stop loss, that means you have to ask yourself, what is my profit from this? And you will see that TradingView can calculate. If you use a little ruler, you can calculate the percentages. So go in at least at 2 to 1 risk reward ratio. That's the first use of the stop loss. The second use of the stop loss, I was telling Megan BFAM last week, is to protect your earnings. So let's say I am in this short here, and it crosses, it breaks the 144, and after it breaks the 144, I want to go to bed, or I want to go out, or whatever I want to do, but I don't want to lose the profits that I made from here to the 144. So what I will do is set a stop loss to the 70, let's say to 76.03. 76.03. So if I put a stop loss at 76.03, you will see that Bybit is very honest and very open and very clear here. Last traded price to 76.03 will trigger market stop loss order. Your expected profit will be 10 XRP or 8.15%. So I will setting the stop loss on my way down after I made some profit will help me protect my profit. And then I can also set the long-term take profit. So I can set both of them. I don't have to, of course, if I set this one and this one gets hit, it'll close. But just a second. I can, yeah, not in this case. Sorry, guys. I take that back. So I can't set both of them. I'll show you what I mean by both of them. Not in this case. In this case, if you set the stop loss on the way down while you're selling, you're protecting your gains. So I do advise you to do that. If you, instead of closing the trade, leaving it run. Let it run. Let it run, because again, you've protected the money, the gains that you made so far. And the third way to use the stop loss is put it at your entry point. So when I'm back in the green, yay! I love seeing green. So if you have, let's say, it crosses the 144, I want to let it run, but I want to let it run to my final destination, to my final goal. I will go here into TP, and I will put, let's say, at entry point is entry price is 76.66. 7665. There we go. So last traded price will trigger market stop loss order. Your expected profit will be 0 XRP. So I won't be losing anything. I won't be losing anything. I won't be making anything. I will still have to pay for the what you say, the fees. So these fees will be taken from my position. So that's, I'll have to pay, like, I don't know, maybe 1 XRP, depending on how many hours I've spent in the trade, because they refresh every 8 hours. So but here I can set the stop loss at my entry point, so I will protect my capital. I will only pay for the fees, but I can let it run to the 56 or the 59. I think I have a target for 59. So this trade can, of course, 59 is a great target to have. Let's see if it gets there. There are some obstacles on the way, but if it does get there, it's got a 390 XRP profit, 299. So it would be a great swing to follow down. So this little baby trade here, it would give me a huge profit. Let's say it only goes down to 70. It will give me 123 XRP, which is awesome because where is it? Because I only put in 100. So if I put in 100 XRP, well, I put in actually 130 XRP. But if I put in 130 XRP and I get 94% profit, 95% profit, that's awesome. And from 76 to 70, that's actually quite achievable. So I think I'm gonna, this is not the perfect position, but I'm gonna let this trade run. I sometimes use this account for little baby trades. So that's how you can protect your entry point, you can protect your gains, and you can protect your capital, a small portion of your capital. So please do that. Don't you have the stop loss, don't avoid using it. I am going to use the stop loss to cover my my capital in my larger XRP trade. So this baby one, I'll let it run, but the other ones I will cover the entry point, because we are where we are at the end of the end, and if it turns up, I want to be protected. I don't want to lose anything, and I want to follow price action up to wherever it goes. So that's point 3. And point 4, the take profit. Now, the take profit. For the take profit, I have 2 points. The first one is DCA out. Do you guys DCA out? Have you ever DCA'd out?
When the position moved against me, I've reduced the risk and DCA'd out.
Brilliant. That was Neil, right?
Yeah.
Excellent. So I will teach you. I don't know if you were there when Roy showed this on his one of his sessions. So what we did once was, when the position moved against us, we DCA'd in. So it was moving, I think it had moved maybe 6 or 7 points away from where we were. It was quite close towards the liquidation, but not at the liquidation. So we put money in to improve our position, and then we DCA'd out. So that would be a 2-step, how can I say, risk reducing. Because first you improve your position, and then you reduce, you DCA out, and you close a part of it, so that you close, how can I say, a position that has been improved. And I think that works best percentage-wise. I think that works best percentage-wise. I had to do it once recently. I don't remember the trade, but I closed for some reason. I think I DCA'd in too soon, and my margin wasn't covering the worst case scenario in liquidation, and I had to close a part of my position. But I only took a small hit compared to, I think I had like about 2,000 XRP in the trade, and I only took like a 120 XRP blow, and then the market reversed, and I made all of that back. So I could reduce my position. I put more money in, improved my position, and then I took money out and I reduced my position. And that's a great way to do it. Very good. Super, Neil. Now, you can also DCA out to take profit, because that's the best way to take profit. Remember to pay yourselves. Pay yourselves. Like that's when I talk strategy with Roy, that's the main thing that he tells me. Oh, you have to be patient and let the trade play out longer. But I love paying myself for the trades that I make. So I take at least 50% on the way down, if not everything. Like for my ETH short, I prefer to take the whole profit this morning, let it play out, and then go in again on the upswing. And I made the right choice. Sometimes it does decrease the profits, but you like we're talking about decreased profits while you have the money in your pocket. So do plan to DCA out the same way you DCA'd in. However, it's only DCAing your direction. So 3 steps down for DCAing out, for taking profit. So you can take profit. You can take profit at your, let's say, I can choose to take profit at 0.59. So that will be my final take profit, 0.59, confirm. However, I have this close by section, and I can choose close by limit. So let's say on the way down, I want to close. I have 1,000 in my DCA right now. But with the DCAs, and again, imagine these hundreds are thousands. With these DCAs down, where's the other one? Perfect. Let's say until 59, I would have 4,000 in. If one of the above DCAs, like the ones above my entry point, goes in, I would have maybe 5 or 6. But the point I'm trying to make is go again. Close by limit. So when it hits 70, out of the 1,000, well, I can say, let's say I have, I will have at 70, I will have 3,000. I'm gonna sneeze now. Sorry. Ah, that was so good. So I will choose to close 50%. So at 0.7 out of the 3,000 that I would have in this trade, I would close 50%, which is 1,500. Again, remember to click post only, because if you don't click post only, this limit will be executed straight away, and you don't want that to happen. I've had that happen by accident, and it's not nice, because it closes then and there, and you're basically not taking profit. So post only, click the post only. So I confirm. So I have well, I can't set the whole thing now. Is it just give me a second. I'm gonna try to redo it. Close. Yeah. Once the other orders are in, I could be setting higher limits. I generally set take profit when I have all my DCAs in, and that's I've never actually had to do this before they were in. But yeah, so 50% would be 500 for this trade. Okay. Then I would have, where is it? Then I would have, so at 70, I would close 50%. At 65, I'll put another limit in. I will close another 25%. And then at 62, let's say I will close maybe 10%, which is 100, post only. And then that would leave only about 100 for the final take profit. So you don't have only one take profit level. You can have as many take profit levels as you want. You can take profit after each and every stage. You can take profit and then DCA in. Again, it will change your position, but sometimes it is the safe way to do it. What I did, this is what I did in the trade that I'm in on XRP at the moment, because I followed this swing up. I entered a short at 77, then I DCA'd at 84. My entry point was 80, brilliant. I took profit over the weekend here, and then I did yes, at 80 I took profit here, and then I DCA'd at 77 when it broke this. 75, yes, when it broke this, I DCA'd on the way down at 75, and between 75 and 80 it gave me an entry point of 78. So that's how I have that entry point at 78 at the moment, because I took profit here. I took most of my profit here. I took about 75% of my profit here, because it was too good to say a no to be honest. But also because it looked dubious. It was really dubious. I was very suspicious of what's going to happen here. I could have made a lot of money here, to be honest, but I'm happy with the money that I made here. In these times, I'm really happy with the money. Oh, did I take some? Oh, oh, I have to cancel them, guys. I'm starting to take profit. Cancel, cancel, cancel. Close, cancel. 70. Which one got hit? There was a 630. I closed some. Anyways, it's the right way. I made $1. Okay. So you could see the amount of planning that goes in. Now plan your closing of I think do you know what I did? I think I put the wrong number in. Maybe I didn't watch it. So plan your trades carefully. Like, we're traders, we're not gamblers. We're not putting money recklessly. When I want to test a strategy out, I will use the smallest amount of money, and I will be testing it out till the cows come home, because I want to see it work on hundreds of trades, not on 10 trades, not on 20 trades, on hundreds of trades. So if I want to do hundreds of 5-minute, for instance, I've been using this account for 5-minute trades. If I want to trade on the 5-minute using the ARC, I wanna do hundreds of trades to see where the faults are with my strategy, and not only the trading strategy, as in where do I go in and where do I go out, but also my position management strategy, because there's a whole science and there's a whole planning to that as well. So it's not, oh, go in and then pray to the universe, please help my position not be liquidated. That's not how we do it. That's, we're not putting the I don't know, the chips on the table hoping, it's red or black. No, it's not like that. There are two directions, going up and going down. And the market makers go with the market, and we should be going with the market makers. So we're swimming with the sharks. It's dangerous territory, it's dangerous waters, and we are going to where they're going. So we want to, first of all, secure our capital, protect it, reduce the risk, and second of all, pay ourselves. Please remember to pay yourself. Greed is something that I need to be mindful of, especially when it comes to positions. I used to be very, very focused on precision and getting the perfect position for entry and waiting for the perfect target. And I got burned a lot of times waiting for the perfect target. And now I learned to manage my greed by looking at the RSI and the momentum. And I do catch myself every now and then, let's say once in 30 times, not listening to the indicator and, you know, doing what's best for my greed rather than what's best for the wallet at that moment. But I know that eventually it will turn. So do watch out for the emotions that are controlling your mindset when you're trading, because you should always be in the planning strategic mindset, not the emotional mindset. So if you are in the emotional mindset, that means you have to sit back, you have to look at it, you have to calm down. And I'm not talking about being enthusiastic or being high energy, because I'm enthusiastic and high energy. But for instance, I put in a trade, I plan, I secure my capital, and then I say, okay, I'm gonna watch and see how this will play out, and I will watch it. So that's it for me. Be careful how you're trading now. I'm as you have probably noticed, I tell you what I do in my trades, but I don't give you trade signals. And this is not like we're not giving you trade signals. We're telling you how we're trading because we want to see we want we want to share what we're doing with you, but it's not a trade signal. So don't go in on trade signals. Make the decision that's right for you, because we're giving you enough information for you to make the informed decision. What's best for you. So that's it for me. Any questions? Have you guys had any challenges managing positions, getting out of difficult situations? No. Who's in trade?
Wondering when to get out.
Say again.
Necessarily to know when to get out of them or when to take a profit before.
Ah, very good. Is that Lee?
It is, yeah.
Ah, super. So Lee, let me take my notes, because I told you Roy told me that you were asking that, and I had a session and it's recorded, but we have a backlog of sessions that we need to edit and put out. So that will come out. But I'll tell you the 3 steps of how to exit a trade. And I'll tell you what I use. Okay. Now, I'll stop sharing this screen. Change window. Let me see. Cancel. Okay. This one here. Okay. Okay. Let me just check here. Perfect. Okay. Let me change my screen, because it's really simple to show you on the chart rather than on there we go. Now, can you see my chart now? Of course you can. You can see it. Okay. So there are 3 things that you need to keep in mind when you're exiting. So the first one is exit on momentum. If you're trading, where is my highlighter here? Let's say you're trading these 3 peaks. I posted this trade yesterday. You're trading these 3 peaks. You see the RSI. I use the RSI, the stochastic RSI, and the support and resistance levels to exit my trade. So these three are the ones that I use. The RSI, stochastic RSI, and support and resistance levels. So let's say I see on the 15-minute this in the morning when the London session opens, I see a 3 or a double peak or a double peak formation. I go in on this short. I will be watching the RSI come down and hit the bottom. Now, when the RSI is needling down in a straight line, that's when I exit that trade. I don't wait for the RSI to make a little V. No, I don't wait for that. Well, these days I am waiting for it because I'm waiting for the bigger drop. So I'll again, but that's my longer term bias. But if you are, let's say, a 9 to 5 trader, a trader that trades the London session or the US session, you trade that swing on that day. You want to wait for the RSI to come down like this. You don't want to wait for the RSI to make that little V shape. And I always use two indicators to confirm that. The first one is the RSI and the second one is the stochastic RSI. I was telling Roy this morning because he mentioned it last night. And he said some people use the RSI, and I was like, I use the stochastic RSI. But, you know, it's like, I don't know why they're using it. I'm like, I use it to exit the trades. He exits more based on support and resistance, where I am a little bit more of a momentum person. I like to see momentum peak or bottom in this case. So when the normal RSI bottoms out and the stochastic RSI bottoms out, when both of them bottom out, happy days, that's when I leave my trade. Sometimes you would see, for instance, here, the RSI, the normal RSI didn't bottom out, the stochastic RSI did bottom out. Here, I wouldn't exit the trade because I would see the stochastic go from the top. It needs to go to the bottom. It can't be the bottom here. I know I have to wait for all the ziggy-zaggy, but I know that it will come down here because it always does that. From the bottom to the top, from the top to the bottom, from the bottom to the top. If our feelings don't get in the way and we don't get carried away by emotions, fear, or greed, we will wait for that. We will be patient enough to wait for that. Just the way I'm waiting now. I'm in a short. I entered here. I didn't enter here. I entered here, and because I saw the RSI bottoming out here, actually topping out here, I will be waiting for it to come down, and it will come down. It has to come down. It can constantly go up. It might go up a couple more levels. I don't think it will, but I am waiting for it to come down. So these would be the two indicators that I would use, and the third one to exit, again, for my take profit, I would choose the support and resistance here. For this trade, I actually had 2.5. Yes, I had 250. This one, I had the 250 level. Perfect. And it didn't hit it. It was so annoying. I took profit this morning here, I think. Yes, here. Was it? No, yeah. I didn't take profit yesterday here. I took profit this morning here. And then I waited for this to happen, and I'm gonna go in hoping this is the big drop. So I would use the support and resistance, and I would be very generous right now. Normally levels are hit and life is great. Now we are in that final moment of transition. And there's so many games being played on traders right now. And if you don't have experience, be cautious. I'm not saying don't trade. Be careful with the amount of money that you put in. Go into the high probability trades. Trade smaller time frames. Right now we are trading on the 15-minute, which is not what we would normally do. But at the moment, the 4-hour arc is complete, the 1-hour arc is complete, the daily arc is complete. There are no bigger swings for us to follow, except for the final peak and the final bounce to go in on a long or to go in on a short, which will be a larger move. So right now we are trying to catch position, but we are trading while protecting our positions very carefully. So we'll be giving it some space to move down because we are in shorts, but then we'll put the stop loss at the entry point. So these are the three things that I use to exit. So remember, exit on momentum. Second thing, don't go back in after you've exited. Let's say you are just watching the RSI and the stochastic RSI, and you see that the stochastic RSI bottomed out here, and you went in here and you followed it down to here, and you made some money. It's not a lot of money, but let's say you made 20% profit. Let's face it, guys. Now, I am being picky when I say, follow a 50% or a 70% or an 80% swing at the beginning of the arc. I'm very picky then. It's what you say, the luxury to choose. But any investment that gives you a 20% profit is an extraordinary one. If you can make 20% profit on any sort of investment daily, that is huge. That is brilliant. So if you do that, if you want to trade this 2% swing and go into this sideways every day, put $2 in and you make 20% today, 20% tomorrow, 5 days a week. At the end of the week, you'll have $4. And I don't know about you, but I always talk in percentages. So you'll have doubled your money. You've made 100% profit. Anyways, the point I'm trying to make is, let's say you go in here, you see this double top, triple top formation, this M formation, it's confirmed in the RSI, you follow it down, you're excited about your profit, you're like, yay, I'm making some money. You see the stochastic RSI bottom out, and you start being afraid for your profit. And you say, okay, the stochastic bottomed out here, I want to exit on momentum. You exit and then you see it go up and you say, oh, good thing I came out. But then you see it come down, and again, that's where greed kicks in. Please don't go in here for this. It's like a 1% and then it will reverse and get over here. So don't go in straight after you've exited a trade. So the first thing is exit on momentum, watch your indicators. The second is don't go in straight after you've exited. And the third one is, after each trade, pause to reflect. Take a little moment to write down on your charts or in your notebook, whatever record you use for your trades. And please keep a record of your trades, because you want this to be your job. You want this to give you financial freedom, to have more time for yourself, for your family, for all the things that you love in your life. So treat it very seriously. Keep a record of this, and 5 minutes after each trade, or 10 minutes, or sometimes I would spend maybe half an hour. There might be trades where I would spend half an hour analyzing what happened, just reflecting on it. So yes, we have the indicators, and these are the three things that I use, and I keep it very simple because I'm a minimalist in life and in my trading. I like things to be open, clear, concise. So I use the support and resistance. I use the RSI, the stochastic RSI, on the time frame that I'm trading. But then I always pause to reflect. So take a moment to see what went right and what went wrong, and do it one and one. The main things. You don't have to start beating yourself open, oh, let's do early, and no, don't have to do that. But do have a look at what went wrong and what went right in both directions. If you made money, what went right? If you lost money, what went wrong? So that's it. That's the short version of it. But then we have like an hour and a half of examples and demonstrations. How do you feel about that?
That's brilliant. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
You're very welcome. It makes perfect sense. At least you can try for 15 minutes today, because I know you're very busy. You can try for 15 minutes to map out these exit points, like noticing the tops and the bottoms on the chart and in the RSI. And you will see, for instance, if you start putting, I have a for XRP, because that's my darling. That's the one that I love trading. So I have the tops, the bottoms, but also, there it is. Be prepared. I have the days. Because I am crazy about patterns. I want to see what it does every day, and to notice if there are any similarities. For instance, see here, Thursday, Friday, Saturday pump. Thursday, Friday, a little bit of correction, Saturday pump. I love seeing these similarities. So it would be good, depending on, and I would advise you to trade initially the one, look at the 1 hour, because it's the more reliable time frame. Trends are more reliable on the longer time frames. So have a look at the 1 hour and see where it tops out, where it bottoms out, what happens in between, how long would a trade last. And then do the 15-minute. And after you've done that a couple of times, your eyes will get trained. You're training your eyes to see those formations. And I have the RSI on all of my charts. All of my charts have the RSI. Some of them have even the stochastic RSI. All of them have it. And let us know. We're always here. Like, we've been quiet recently because this is what's happened, like up and down in a range of 3%. So I've only traded once or twice. I think I've done like 2 swings, but I don't like trading sideways. I'm a long-term trader, and I don't like trading every day. I don't like trading. I don't like trading in and out. I don't like opening positions every day, because I find it too stressful. I like more the analytical step-by-step trade preparation, and then watching it. That's how I do it. So we've been quiet in terms of posting because nothing has happened. But if you guys have, this would be the perfect time for you guys to ask questions, or to do your TA, and to ask us questions. And you can always directly message myself and Roy, because if you don't want, let's say, to post your TA out there on the group, because we'll be happy to help you. And we want you to be prepared for when the bull run kicks in. So yes, we might have a drop. Yes, we might have a bit of consolidation. It might take a month. It might take 2. It might take 3 weeks. We don't know. We'll evaluate when we see it. But then when the bull run kicks in, it would be absolutely amazing to have this group prepared, knowing your entries, knowing your exits, knowing your the position management, knowing your charts, your indicators. It would be absolutely amazing to see you guys make a lot of money in the bull run, and also gain a lot of confidence, have a lot of chances to test out your strategy, get to know yourselves as traders, and then train yourselves as traders. So it would be brilliant, absolutely brilliant, because A lot of money could be made there with very little to start with. So that's it for me. I can't believe again 2 hours. Just time flies. I'll see you guys on Thursday. On Thursday, I know I used XRP to demonstrate the position management because I'm more familiar with the range, and numbers are tricky for me, especially since English is my second language. So talking in numbers and percentages is one of the biggest challenges. So I picked the easiest way for me to explain to you what my strategy is about. But on Thursday, I'll be doing a chart update session. So you see, I have my charts for XRP and I have my charts for ETH. And I start from the daily to the 4 hour, to the patterns, to the indicators, and to my strategy share page. And then I have a baby Bitcoin chart that I always keep on. So on Thursday, I'll be doing a chart update, and I do invite you to share your charts on Thursday with me and to discuss them. If you have any questions, we'll be putting all the arcs in order. We'll be checking them out on all the time frames, and we'll be noticing what we have to update or redo, if there are any such things. Thank you for tonight. Thank you for your time. I'll see you Thursday.
There's so much to get.
Thank you, Mahela. Cheers, bye.
Bye bye. Let me know,
Thank
Lee,
you,
if you
Mahela.
have any questions. Let me know, Pico, as well.